Cybersecurity cannot be done without trusted devices. And trusted devices literally start with a secure boot. So in that sense, secure boot is the foundation of cybersecurity. And secure boot is a chain of digital signature verifications of software and firmware images.
The foundational layers, if you like, of our supply chain, like semiconductors, they're going to be right in the scope of this because there's quite a long time before they come to market.
If a car comes to market in 2030, it needs to have chips in it. And these chips are being designed right now. And the car is on the road for 20 years. So, and by 2033, it has to be PQC compliant. That's the one reason. The other reason is, why don't you just update later in the field? That is possible for second, third, and fourth stage bootloaders, but not for the first stage bootloader. The first stage bootloader always is executed from ROM, the read-only memory, and has to be put in the hardware right now.
What are the pain points that are starting to come out?
Which algorithm should I use? There's a couple of algorithms that you could use, like MLDSA, SLHDSA, FNDSA. These are the three standardized algorithms from NIST. Or you could use LMS or XMSS, which have been standardized by CSA 2.0 and have been around for a long time. None of them is perfect. So all of them have pros and cons. So that means there's not a single solution for every secure boot use case.
So going back to the kind of core point around secure boot, we've obviously to generate the signatures and we've got to do firmware signing. What's the issue around that trade-off you were talking about between different algorithms?
The first issue is that Europe, so France and Germany in particular, mandate a PQT hybrid approach. That already doubles the latency for secure boot. Instead of doing just an ECDSA or RSA verify, you have to do an RSA verify and an MLDSA verify. So that's in itself is already suboptimal. So there's exceptions. France and Germany say the hash-based signature schemes, both the stateful ones like LMS and XMSS, and the stateless hash-based signature schemes like SLHDSA can be used directly without hybrid.
Okay.
So that would mean, why don't we all go for Sphinx Plus, SLHDSA? The challenge here is that CNSA 2.0 does not include SLHDSA. So if you want to have a product that is in the field and is available for US customers, government customers, you can't use Sphinx Plus.
Okay, so what does that boil down to then in terms of your best choice? Is there a safest choice here?
So if you look at purely at the secure boot side in the device, then I would say LMS is a good choice because it's included in CNSA 2.0. It's a hash-based standard that's around for a long time. So there's probably, very high likelihood you don't have to update it. And it's accepted as a fully PQC, no need for a hybrid solution in Europe as well. So why is not everybody going for them? The problem is there on the signature generation side, there you can't back up the state because then you will be able to forge a signature. If you can't back up your state, if you lose your key, there's no more software update possible. That's a practical problem on the signature generation side.
So sticking with that then, signature generation, by that we mean that I'm releasing some firmware. Yeah, I need to sign it to say it's authentic. Is that process straightforward in a PQC world right now?
So yeah, we thought so, but there's no end-to-end PQC solution available at the moment. And that's why we're signing our firmware with our own in-house solution. That was quite a surprise that there's no solution available at the market where everything from user authentication to communication to algorithms available is fully PQC.
Okay, and so we've built our own solution in the interim to do that. What kind of vendors do we need to move? What kind of devices and bits of that chain need to upgrade quickly, therefore, to enable that for a wider use case than just our homebrew version?
Yeah, so I think the reason there's nothing available now is that it's different players that need to move. So it's the HSM vendors, obviously. They need to support all the algorithms. That's for one. They cannot solve the LMS, XMSS state backup solution right now. So some of them have proposed new ways to do a secure backup in order to do that. That needs to be standardized by NIST and other certification bodies. And then you need the user authentication, the two-factor authentication industry to completely move. Usually two-factor authentication devices are used for user authentication who is allowed to use the key. Typically, those two-factor authentication devices are based on secure element from the big semiconductor companies. They again need a secure boot to sign, so we already have a circle. And they also need to be usually FIPS 140-3 CMVP level 3 or 4 or common criteria certified. And these standards are not moved as well. So I believe it will take a few months, if not even years, before we see the first FIPS 140-3 CMVP level 3 or 4 secure elements.
Okay, so that means we've got a bit of a logjam, basically, right now. So that's going to cause a ripple through the supply chain. And I guess only by working together and recognizing those kind of best of breed and best of class solutions and putting them together and integrating them will enable the solution there. So from our perspective and PQShield's perspective, what do we have in our locker that helps with that supply chain get over that process?
In simple terms, we have a toolkit that is very flexible, consists of hardware and software building blocks that can be combined in various different ways, however the use case requires, to achieve certain trade-offs in terms of power, security, cost, and algorithm.
One of the conversations that seems to be quite common at the moment is what can I do in current generation versus what might I do in my next generation? So if I'm sitting there designing my next generation product, I guess I've got all options open to me.
We have a product called PQ Cryptolib Embedded. That's a very versatile crypto library comprising traditional and post-quantum algorithms. And that can be compiled and optimized for different optimizations. Let's say you need low memory footprint. We can strip it down because we employed a couple of optimization tricks so that you can achieve very low memory footprints. There's a different optimizations where you can make use of existing hardware accelerators or other trade-offs, and it's much faster. So there's a wide variety of trade-offs that can be achieved with Cryptolib Embedded. All of them are suitable for embedded devices.
Okay, so therefore that actually gives someone a current generation product solution that they could implement in software only, in effect, yeah?
Correct. So they can upgrade to post-quantum crypto for second and later stage bootloaders and above. The first stage is still in silicon.
Cryptography is actually about risk mitigation rather than elimination. And so what we're saying is in that secure boot chain right now, there are steps you can take immediately to mitigate. It doesn't eliminate, but then you can never really eliminate until you actually get down to that next generation hardware layer, right?
Correct.
Okay, so in that scenario then, what do we have that's really suitable for those people who want to do that next generation hardware layer?
For the next generation hardware, our PQ platform family of products is very suitable. It's optimized for low area footprint and high security. And that's what you want for secure boot. So it starts with a hash-only engine, very low footprint, yet you can do all the hash-based signature schemes already. We have a lattice-based IP that accelerates and securely implements the lattice-based algorithms like MLDSA, MLChem. And we have a combination of that as a CoPro, so we can have hash-based signature schemes and lattice-based signature schemes. We have a subsystem which is fully autonomous, so there's no load on the CPU. It's a RISC-V core added to the CoPro, same Axibus integration, very autonomous subsystem. And we're currently developing and soon be launching our PQ platform TrustSys, which is a fully root of trust.
Okay, so that family is obviously optimized for those two things. What if I want this thing to go really fast?
Yeah, then you can use our PQ Perform IP, which comes with larger area, but it's blazing fast. So it's much faster than anything on the market. It's much faster than our PQ platform products. And yeah, the trade-off here is you need more hardware area to realize that.